Shalom. We are the ISUPK coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Hall, New York, at the Commanding General Yahat. And today's topic is, there's no equality between the Hebrews and the Gentiles. Well, we will never reign together right alongside them. It doesn't work that way. You see what I'm saying? Especially of not of Esau, not with Esau, especially. Right? Either we're going to be at the top or we're going to be at the bottom. Yeah, right. You see what I'm saying? Right. With us being at the bottom, everybody else gets to rise to the top. With us being at the top, everybody else has to go down. Right. That's the one thing is set against another. You know what I'm saying? Nature is like that. You see what I'm saying? If the lions get out on the hyenas, you know, the lions are going to totally try and, you know, wipe the hyenas out so that they can reign supreme. You see what I'm saying? With us separating from our enemies, we will start to come up and they will come down. That's how this thing works. There is no equality. Black people pushing for equality, you in a vain fight. You in a losing battle. Now, let's go to Romans chapter 11 and verse 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, right? It says the fall of us be the riches of the world. The whole world is rich right now. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has their own kingdoms. Everybody that takes a piece of us anyway, are rich. You see what I'm saying? And this value system and society sees it is just in a state where it's thriving right now. You see what I'm saying? But the more that we separate, the more they're going to have to come down. Damn right. And they understand this. Right. You know what I'm saying? They understand this concept well. You see what I'm saying? That's why they always want to make sure that they keep us in every religion possible. You see what I'm saying? They want to keep us and looking at, you know, they want to keep our attention focused on being selfish, you know, and only thinking about ourselves and our personal selves getting rich. Without us, you know, they hate it when we love our brothers. Right. You see what I'm saying? Our brothers and sisters, they can't stand that. The world hates that. While the world has no problem with other races loving their own. You see what I'm saying? They only seem to really have a problem with us. Right. Because see, once we start separating, we start loving our own, they're down, they get to see their downfall right before their faces. Right. And they don't like that at all. Now, the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentiles. This is the reason why nobody wants to stop the Planned Parenthood. You see what I'm saying? If they attack Planned Parenthood, they're not attacking Planned Parenthood for black people. You see what I'm saying? They lumping us in the pile and all of that. But we will definitely be the compromise. You see what I'm saying? They'll start killing less heathen children. But at the same time, you know, when we sit there and join white people in their movements, stop Planned Parenthood, and the black woman will join the white woman in that. She won't come up with no movement of her own with, you know what I'm saying, with black people. You see what I'm saying? With her joining with black men to end Planned Parenthood and all that. She won't do that, but she'll join the white woman. You see what I'm saying? And help her in her battle. What they'll actually do, they might reduce, you know what I'm saying, the amount of white kids that are being aborted. But her children, the black woman's children, will increase. You see what I'm saying? It'll go from 500 million a year to, you know, it'll go to a little over that 600,000. You see what I'm saying? A year. They'll jack that up. And the white woman will lead the movement. You see what I'm saying? And the black woman will lead the movement right behind the white woman. Not even caring about our own. How much more their fullness? I'm going to drop that. I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 25. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Paddan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. The children struggled. They fought within inside of her. You believe that they were fighting for equality?
Right.
No. Each one of them were fighting to be born first. You see what I'm saying? This is war. Now, we think that war, we think that warfare is based on us, getting a bunch of guns and all that. With the Black Panthers and all of these, and you got the brothers and teaching their sisters how to shoot guns. Okay, that's fine and cool. But that's not what you want to, where your confidence is supposed to be at. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to have an equal battle of fighting with the white man, because his weaponry, he still has way more weaponry than we do. You see what I'm saying? He has an army. Our people is just a bunch of loose bands that's only trying to protect their house. You know what I'm saying? They're a bunch of individuals. They have no rank system, no order. How the hell are you ever going to win a war like that? You see what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, a lot of these brothers teaching their sisters, that they little daughters and all of that how to shoot, they only going to end up shooting a black man. You see what I'm saying? They ain't going to bust, they ain't going to squeeze that trigger on no damn white man. That white man is who everything. He's the beholder of their hopes and dreams. Why are they going to shoot him? You see what I'm saying? He's the one that has the key to everything. She wants to be a sports star. She wants to be, a singer. She wants to be a great musician. Whatever it is that she want to be, whatever talent it is that she got. You see what I'm saying? He's the beholder of the dreams behind that talent. So why she want to shoot him? You see what I'm saying? And she also knows she shoot him, she get life in prison. She shoot you, she might do 3 years, maybe. She might get sentenced to 5 years and do 3. You see what I'm saying? And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, think about this for a second. It said, one people shall be stronger than the other people. In carnality and sin, the white man is stronger than us in that area. You see what I'm saying? But as far as with things, when we're lawful, we're stronger than he is. You see what I'm saying? In this kingdom, this is why he's stronger than us in this kingdom right now. This is why he's ruling. You see what I'm saying? We don't make good sinners. We're not, we love to glorify and all the stuff that he glorified in. The man, he puts, has specials with gangsters, with famous white gangsters and all of that. All empires off being gangsters. And we try and do that same damn thing. And even though we might be smarter in a lot of ways than him at it, but that is not our niche. You see what I'm saying? That our niche is not in crime. You see what I'm saying? It's in righteousness, while his is in crime and murder. Because his blessing will come by the sword, not ours. And the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau, the father of the white man, of the white race. And after that came his brother out. He took hold of Esau's heel. You see what I'm saying? After that, his brother came out. And his hand took hold because he wanted to really snatch Esau back in there and be born himself. But there was also a prophecy, you know what I'm saying, with Esau being first and then Jacob coming right behind him. You see what I'm saying? The kingdom of one race and the end of that kingdom, of that kingdom, right behind him. You see what I'm saying? The end of the white man's kingdom represents the very beginning of ours. There's no equality. You see what I'm saying? There's no dual rulership. That's not how things work with us. You done had empires out there where there was dual rulership. You see what I'm saying? You had Medo-Persian, the Medes of the Persians. That's why it was called, the empire of Medo-Persian. They ruled together. They were content with their portions. Even though the Persians were stronger than the Medes. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But
the Medes, they still ruled together. The Medes were content with their portion of what they had. You see what I'm saying? They accepted it. It was like, okay, the Persians are the stronger of the two of us. But they they made a league together. Hell, and they never even transgressed that league. You see what I'm saying? Two nations, dual rulership. All right. Now, what you have is, now you have also Greco-Roman society. You see what I'm saying? Another example of dual rulership. Even though they're the same nation, they were two kingdoms. You see what I'm saying? They merged together, right? It became Greco-Roman society. But with us, this has never been so. You see what I'm saying? That's why we were never supposed to league with any nation, any other nation. You see what I'm saying? We were never supposed to go, especially Edom and the Canaanites and all of them, especially them. You see what I'm saying? There will be no dual rulership. Every other nation has to come down for us to come up. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa. We got to come down so everybody else can come up. You see what I'm saying? Either we'll be at the top or we're going to be at the bottom. That's it. That's the options right there. There's no equality. You see, that's why, these people that are sitting there and embracing the white man inside their congregations and all of that, and they even setting up marriages with white men and sisters and all of that. You see what I'm saying? The white man is going to rule those congregations. They're not going to rule together. There's not going to be elder such and such and then pastor, pastor white man. They're not going to rule that church together. There's not going to be rule there. You see, the white man will take that over. First thing that he'll do is supplant that black man and put a black woman in his place. You see what I'm saying? He'll move that black woman up over that black man that he's supposed to be having dual rulership in that church with. You see what I'm saying? He'll put a black female in that seat because he will easily be able to rule her. He will be the king, she'll be the queen. You see what I'm saying? And really the slave, but as long as she can look the part, dress nice and look nice and all of that, she'll convince herself that she's a queen, while the white man is just ruling the whole damn church. You see what I'm saying? And you know where the black man will go to be inside that church while the white man is ruling that church? The black man will become the janitor, He'll be the man to cut the grass. He'll be the usher. You see what I'm saying? He'll be he'll use him for his singing and all of that, singing ability. You know what I'm saying? But he will have no authority inside that church. And if he even rises to try and get some authority inside that church, that white man will just sick his attack dog on him, which is that black woman with her big mouth. You see what I'm saying? And break his spirit. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, the whole world is trying to break your spirit so that they can stay in power. The white man wants to break your spirit. The white woman wants to break your spirit. You see what I'm saying? The Asian man wants your spirit. The whole world is in agreement with this, including the black woman that's not in the ISUPK. You see what I'm saying? She wants your spirit broken also. That because her hope and desire is with that white man. The white man has the keys of her dream. Now remember in the scripture when it said, thy desire shall be to thy husband in Genesis. Now you got to kind of think now. Even though you're married to this black woman, are you really her husband? You got to kind of think about that. You see what I'm saying? Who she listens to is who she loves. If she don't listen to you, you tell her that you know, we're not celebrating Christmas because the Bible says Christmas is wrong. And she rise up and say, oh no, we're going to celebrate Christmas. That Christmas tree can stay and you can go. Who's really her husband? You see what I'm saying? She's making a choice. That Christmas tree that she only puts up one day out of the year, one time out of the year, rather, she looks at that. And that Christmas tree ain't paying none of her bills, right? The Christmas tree is not doing anything for her at all. As a matter of fact, she has to pay for the Christmas tree and the Christmas presents to put under the damn tree. You see what I'm saying? She invests in that Christmas tree, and that Christmas tree gives her back nothing. You see what I'm saying? But a good feeling on Christmas morning. You see what I'm saying? So now, if that Christmas tree, she say, you can leave. You know what I'm saying? When you are paying the bills or whatever the case, or you might not have a job or whatever the case is. You might have a better job than she is and she's working, or you might not have no job, or she might have the better job. It don't matter. She will say, you can leave, but that Christmas tree will stay. I've definitely heard this. So now she's saying that, right? Who's really her husband? Think about that for a second. You see what I'm saying? And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she buried him. Now, there wasn't even with Isaac, the father, right? Isaac was a righteous man. And there was still no equality between the sons in his eyes. Because Isaac looked at Esau as this is going to be his heir. You see what I'm saying? He ate of his venison, Isaac didn't look at the boys as being equal. You see what I'm saying? He looked at Esau as being greater than Jacob. He loved him the most. You see what I'm saying? He thought that surely Esau would be the man. That this man, he's heroic, you know what I'm saying? He comes out with the bow, and goes and hunts. You see what I'm saying? Hunts game. He figures surely this boy's got what it takes to be the heir. While Jacob, on the other hand, there seemingly wasn't nothing actually special about him. He looked like everybody else. You see what I'm saying? He's, dark skinned, afro, He looked, just like Isaac, Rebecca, and the other people of the land. But Esau was different. He looked different than everybody. You see what I'm saying? And he could hunt. He could hunt very well. He was an expert hunter. You know what I'm saying? The best hunter on the earth in his day. And then what actually too, Nimrod's legacy was all during that time, right? This just goes to show you how even righteous men are under the vibe sometime of carnal, you know, somebody that has great carnal exploits. You see what I'm saying? You know, just like you'll have brothers, you know, that will honor some great white. They can't stand white people. You see what I'm saying? But they'll have so much honor for some white man that was real good at something. You see what I'm saying? And they'll have honor for him, and they'll have a son or whatever, and they can see in their son that, you know, that same type of quality or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And they'll judge, you know, that the love of that, so they'll make him the favorite because of that. Well, Nimrod was like that. Nimrod was looked at like that also. And when Isaac saw, you know, how great Esau was and how strong he was or whatever, right? He kind of looked at Isaac through that light, through the light that the whole world had looked at Nimrod through. You see what I'm saying? And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. And also, too, you know, with Esau being cunning, with him being cunning like he was able also to even fool Isaac into thinking that he was righteous. Just like the white man to this day is able to fool black people into thinking that he's righteous. And the only ones that actually know that the white man is not righteous is the ISUPK. You see what I'm saying? We are the white man's arch nemesis. You see what I'm saying? And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Now, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Isaac would look at Esau, you know, and all the great stuff that he was doing, but then he would look at Jacob. You know, Jacob was just a plain brother, just, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling out in the tents, chilling. You see what I'm saying? While what he was actually doing was, too, what Jacob was doing, Jacob separated himself to the law of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Jacob, you know, Jacob was studying and learning. Leisure time. Jacob had leisure time to learn the law, the thing that Esau had no interest in. Now, if you got a mother and father and they have 2 children, right? And one child is plain and he just, you know, he's into the book, he's into the word, he's into the scripture, learning the law of the Lord. But the other child is doing, you know, he's doing all of this stuff and everybody thinks that he's so great. They'll look at that child, but then they'll look at the other child as like he's just lazy and he ain't doing nothing with his life, even though he's in the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? Even though he's hardcore in the scriptures, you know, but Esau's doing all of this great stuff, right? That's even, you know, we even see that to this day. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob. Rebekah didn't see equality in the boys. You see what I'm saying? She saw that Jacob was better than Esau. And plus she got the word concerning, you know, that the elder shall serve the younger. And she knows which one was born first. You see what I'm saying? With her, there was no equality of the boys. You see what I'm saying? No equality at all. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. His name was called Edom, right? Meaning he would bear children, a nation of people that would take on his same characteristics. You see what I'm saying? He would take on his same characteristics. And also, just like Esau was looked at, in the eyes of Isaac and the other people that were around him, it would be the same way that the white man would be looked at today. You see what I'm saying? This nation would eventually be looked at like that. Red is also a color that attracts attention. You see what I'm saying? The white man is red. The stoplight is red. You know what I'm saying? That's why the stop sign is red. Red is the color of woman with a red dress on. You know what I'm saying? Whores a lot of the time wore red dresses. Red lipstick to attract attention to the lips. You see what I'm saying? Red has also always been a color of attraction to stop, or for somebody to pay attention to. You see what I'm saying? That's why McDonald's colors, you know what I'm saying? McDonald's colors, they're red, yellow. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of the fast food, places, the strip clubs and all that, what do they call it? The red light district. You see what I'm saying? It's something that attracts attention, right? And the white man being the red man on the face of the planet, that's why when you look at the television and he's all in the high places. You see what I'm saying? And the more people love him, the more they hate us. You see what I'm saying? Nobody loves the white man and loves us too. You see what I'm saying? Nobody does that. The more they love the white man, the more they hate us. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? Esau, just like Nimrod, trusted in his own strength. That's where his trust was at. That's why he despised the birthright. He didn't care much for the birthright. The way he looked at things, he's like, I can kill and take whatever it is that I want. You see what I'm saying? Why should I wait for an inheritance? I can kill and just take it. And that's why a lot of white children, they think just like what Esau thought. Because, see, they got an inheritance from their family, from their parents, and they're like, hell, why should I wait? Why should I wait for inheritance? I got my parents in the right now. You see what I'm saying? Always requires to kill Isaac because he knew that the Lord was with Isaac. And Isaac was a warrior himself, just like his father Abraham. You see what I'm saying? Esau knew not to even try anything like that. You see what I'm saying? But Jacob, on the other hand, he didn't do nothing. A lot of the times when people fear the father, and the father, their secret sights will be set on the son. And he looked at Jacob as Isaac's son more than he looked at himself as that. You see what I'm saying? No equality. There is no equality. When we're up, they're down. When they're down, we're up. That's the way it goes. That's the way it works. You see what I'm saying? You can't change it. You can't change that. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. He sold that birthright because he figured I can take whatever it is that I want. You see what I'm saying? Esau was vain as hell. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Now, what we're going to go to is going to go to Genesis chapter 30 and verse 43. And the man increased exceedingly and had much cattle. Now, who is this talking about? This is talking about Jacob. Jacob, now at this time, who is Jacob among? Jacob is among Laban the Syrian. You see what I'm saying? This is another nation. Now, beforehand, there was no beef between, as a matter of fact, there was actually a league between, the seed of Abraham and the seed of Nahor. You see what I'm saying? That's why the righteous men, when we were first starting to be formed, right? As a nation, with the sons of Jacob and everything, we were told to go unto Nahor's children and get a wife of them. Just like Abraham said, go to among his kindred and get a wife. But take not of the daughters of the Canaanites. You see what I'm saying? Told them not to take of them, because that's who they were surrounded by. Right? Now Nahor himself, was a righteous man, just like Abraham, just like Lot was. You see what I'm saying? But when they start having children, right? Even though that individual man might be righteous, but the children, his nation, what will come forth out of his loins would be turned to hate the nation of Israel. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why, as far as in these fake Israelite groups, they don't understand. They don't look down the line. They see this white man and they think, and these people are not righteous though. They're not like what Nahor and Lot were. You see what I'm saying? They are just deceptive, because for one thing, this is one thing that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't do. We don't do this well at all. We don't test relationships. You see what I'm saying? We don't test. We see if a heathen come up to us and say he want to congregate with us and all of that. Well, one of us, the first thing we do is say, sure, brother. Come on. Come and join us. You see what I'm saying? And that white man can come right in that congregation. He doesn't have to do anything. You see what I'm saying? All he has to do is show up, sing songs with Negroes, slap a yarmulke on his head every now and then or whatever. And they don't even have to know anything about how he even lives while he's out there. He could be a damn Klansman out there. Well, he hates black people. You see what I'm saying? He'll be some boss at some job. This guy will be a boss at some job that has black people there. And he'll hire a black man up under him to get rid of black people while going inside your congregation on the Sabbath day. You see what I'm saying? And everybody will look at him like he's so righteous. And then they'll go as far as to even give him, in some cases, he'll get the prettiest black woman in there. You see what I'm saying? And they'll have a kid together and they'll call that kid an Israelite. They won't call him a Gentile. You see what I'm saying? They'll call him an Israelite because his mother, which is totally damn wrong, because the seed goes through the father, not the mother. Yeah, let me go back to the scriptures. But that's how easy it is, you see what I'm saying, for us to be infiltrated. We don't test relationships and things like that. You see what I'm saying? Our peoples don't do that. That's why we should be asking him questions like, there's certain questions you can ask him that'll be like triggers to him, right? You ask him, does he believe that, you ask him a question like, does he believe that the white man should serve us for 400 years? You see what I'm saying? Since we served them for 400 years and made them rich, should they return the favor in the next 400? Then you'll start to see who the hell he really is. You see what I'm saying? Now he'll start to show his true colors, right? But since you don't test the relationship, you got this damn Klansman sitting right up in your congregation. You see what I'm saying? We're going to Genesis 30 and 43. Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna take this up to 4. I'm gonna take this up to verse 40. And Jacob did separate the lambs. What did he do? He separated his lambs from Laban's lamb because it started to be a beef between Jacob and Laban. You see what I'm saying? Now, Laban was a real crafty and subtle man. You see what I'm saying? He was a crafty dude, just like Esau. You see what I'm saying? He was a real crafty dude. And set the faces of the flocks toward the ring straight and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flock by himself and put them not unto Laban's cattle. Now, what did Jacob do? He separated his cattle from Laban's cattle, right? Now, we can already see what happened with these cattle. Because while the cattle was joined together, Laban prospered. You see what I'm saying? Laban prospered and Jacob was being used. You see what I'm saying? And put them not unto Laban's cattle. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that they arise before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. You see what I'm saying? Now, Jacob is doing this also to make sure that his children have a great and powerful inheritance. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man and woman, we don't even care whether our children are slaves or not. We don't even care. That's one of the reasons why we don't even want to separate. You see what I'm saying? We're raising children to be servants to another nation, to be another nation's slave. That's not love for your kids. While we sit there and talk about we love the kids and all of that, you think you love your children just because you make them look nice, you know what I'm saying, and cook them good food. You only preparing them just to be slaves and to raise other slaves. You see what I'm saying? And this rumor about every black woman wants a strong black man, that's a lie. I'm going to tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? Only the women in the ISUPK want a strong black man. The women that are not in the ISUPK do not want a strong black man. I don't care how much they claim to be in the truth and they want a strong black man and they want that, they do not. You see what I'm saying? Because if you breed the slaves, you don't want the strong slave that thinks that, you know what I'm saying, the slave that she don't want to breed with him. She wants to breed with the weak one. Because that weak one will be a better servant to the kingdom of her master. You see what I'm saying? She wants him to be physically strong and all that, but like they say, physically strong and mentally weak. You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't because she feared for his life. Like they say, out of the fear for the black man's life, she would raise him to be weak. That's not true. Obviously, that's not true. If that was the case, how the hell is that true? She feared for his life while she allowed the children nowadays, she'll allow the children to gangbang. To go out there and sell. If she feared for his life so damn much, she'll make sure he wasn't selling no dope. You see what I'm saying? Even if she had to go out there on the damn corner while he's got the pocket full of rocks and snatch him off the damn corner. They ain't going to snatch him off the damn corner. You see what I'm saying? They ain't going to snatch him off the corner when he's out there selling dope on the block. They ain't scared for his life then. They ain't scared for his life when he's out there, when niggas is wanting to rob him and all that. And he's bringing in, the money inside the crib, and putting, nice clothes up on her. She's not fearing for his life then. So obviously, that wasn't the damn case. Out of fear for his life, she raised him to be weak. No, she feared for his life. No, she raised him to be weak because of her love for the damn white master. She wanted to raise a child that would be pleasing unto him. That's why the old nasty Negro tradition among a lot of black women is to name their sons after some white man that she honored so much. That's why you got old brothers named Roosevelt. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Names after some man that she used to be a maid. She used to clean his house. And he treated her halfway like a damn human being. Right? So she loved him so much. She would name her children after him to make sure that he would be, and she wanted him to be a good slave unto his people. You see what I'm saying? And the stronger Jacob, and the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and manservants, and camels, and asses. What happened? With the separation, Jacob got super rich. You see what I'm saying? So what started to happen to Laban? Laban got poorer and poorer. You see what I'm saying? And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob had taken away all that was our father's. Now the sons, they got into the mix. You see what I'm saying? This is how the nation of the Syrians started to hate us and started eventually becoming our enemies. And they are the ones that are in the wrong. You see what I'm saying? Because while Jacob was serving Laban for them 14 years and all of that, none of the sons came up to the father and was like, Dad, Pop, the thing with Jacob, that wasn't right. As long as they figured they had a fat inheritance and they were rich, they didn't care. They didn't care that Jacob was only supposed to serve 7 years. You see what I'm saying? But ended up serving 14. Right? You see what I'm saying? They didn't care. They didn't care about that. What they actually cared about was their people being rich and wealthy. That's all they cared about. They didn't care about Jacob and how he was done wrong. But then when he started to prosper and all of that, when Laban had to come off, when Jacob started to separate, now they got a problem. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why we talk about separating from this society. Everybody got a problem with us. We talk about that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got a problem when we talk about separating from the white man. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got a problem because they know that we're going to prosper and they're going to go down. That's why when you look at certain countries that didn't have a whole lot of black slaves, like say for instance, like in Eastern Europe and all that, among the Chechens and all of those, those Slavic Europeans, they in a third world situation. You see what I'm saying? Because they had way less of us. Russia, places like that, you know what I'm saying? Even though Russia, you know what I'm saying, a lot of parts of Russia, because Russia is huge. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them are third world because they ain't got a whole lot of us. You see what I'm saying? And actually all of their finances, the majority of the bulk of Russia's finances go on warfare. You see what I'm saying? But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and manservants, and camels, and asses. And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which our fathers hath he gotten all this glory. He was done wrong. You see what I'm saying? He made Laban rich, made him filthy rich. Now it's time for him to get his just due behind what he did for Laban. Now they're angry. You see what I'm saying? It's like the sons should have learned from this. But instead, what they do, they got bitter. And they became our enemies. This is how it started with the Syrians. This is how they first started becoming. All these nations that winded up becoming our enemies were behind them being wrong. Not us. You see what I'm saying? And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not towards him as before. And the Lord said to Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto the flock, and said unto them, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the glory of my father, but the God of my father, has been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father. He was in the right, because he served with all of his power. You see what I'm saying? He served Laban. And your father hath deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. Now, what was he like? He's like, Laban's getting so super rich, and he's being filthy rich here now, right? He's being super damn rich, and he's changing Jacob's wages. He still want to pull some shiesty stuff, even though he's made wealthy as hell. He's changing his wealth. He had an agreement. Well, okay, I'm gonna pay you this, right? He's like, I'm gonna pay you this, but he's like, no. But okay, I'm gonna pay you this, right? Like what they do on the job. You know what I'm saying? How they want to change you. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to pay you the minimum. That's what he was doing with Jacob, trying to pay Jacob the minimum while he was getting super filthy damn rich. You see what I'm saying? How the hell he think that he was going to still keep the blessing of the Lord? That he was going to keep being blessed by the Lord by doing this to Jacob. But God suffered him not to hurt me. And he said thus, the speckle shall be thy wages. Then all the cattle bear speckle. And if he said thus, the ring straight shall be thy hire. Then bear all the cattle ring straight. Thus God had taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. You see what I'm saying? He took away the cattle the Lord took away the cattle of Laban because Laban was damn wrong. These nations hate us behind their forefathers being wrong towards us. You see what I'm saying? Their forefathers doing us wrong. Now, doesn't this sound familiar? What's one of the reasons why the white man hates us so damn badly? Because he did us wrong. You see what I'm saying? That's like a man, lending a man money, right? When this man don't have no intentions of paying you back. But he knows that he knows that you want your money back. You see what I'm saying? He's mad at you for wanting your money back, right? He's pissed at you for that. But he's also saying you gave it to him, right? and you lending him money, and you keep lending him money and everything, and not even asking for any of your money back, he's developing a hatred for you. Now, there's people out there definitely like that. You know, as individuals, he's developing a hatred for you because he's coming to you for money. You see what I'm saying? Even though you ain't even sweating him on paying you back. He's hating you for that. This is the white man right here. You see what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why he hates us so bad. There cannot be no peace between us. There's no equality between us. If we on one side of the track, they should be on the damn other. You see what I'm saying? Thus, God hath taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived. Now think about it. Now you know what these other nations were also doing, like the Syrians and Esau. This is how they will make alliances with one another. Because they talking about how, you know, as a matter of fact, they talking about how the Philistines is talking about how Isaac, how they, that they stopped up, they did him wrong. You see what I'm saying? But they flipping it like Isaac did them wrong. So now they developing a bitter hatred towards Isaac and Isaac's children. You see what I'm saying? But Esau, on the other hand, him being different from Isaac and Jacob, right? They figured that because they hate him too. You know, these nations hate the white man. It's just the fact that he's in power right now. You know what I'm saying? They hate his guts, but they're afraid of him. They fear him. You see what I'm saying? But they see the weakness with him, as far as they can, because they see that he has the same problem with Jacob, and with Isaac, because Isaac and Rebekah in their latter years seen that Esau was the damn devil. You see what I'm saying? So now he's angry with Isaac and angry with Jacob and angry with Rebekah. You see what I'm saying? And then, so what does he do? He's making a covenant with the other nations. The nations that they told him not to go and take a wife from. Those are the first nations that he went to, you see what I'm saying? To get him a wife and to make a covenant and alliance with. That I lifted up my eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-straight and speckled, speckled, and gristled. Jacob got filthy rich. See what I'm saying? What did they convince themselves of? That we did them wrong. This is why the Syrians today over in the Middle East, they cannot stand us either. They hate our guts also. You see what I'm saying? But this old hatred, this is how the Most High allowed them to hate us to keep us separate from them. That's the whole purpose. You see what I'm saying? They're supposed to be separate. We're supposed to be separate. We're not supposed to be joined with them. Now I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 26 and verse 12. Now, this is Isaac being among the Philistines, right? Just as we talked about before. It's Genesis chapter 26 and verse 12. Then Isaac sowed in that land. What did he do? He sowed in that land, right? He pretty much invested in that land. And received in the same year at 100-fold. He reaped 100-fold blessing in that land. You see what I'm saying? Now think about it. Now with the inheritance that Isaac had got from his father Abraham, who was very, very rich, right? He invested that and reaped 100-fold. Means Isaac was super duper rich. And the Lord blessed him. And the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very great. He grew until he became very great. You see what I'm saying? For he had possessions of flocks and possession of herds and great store of servants. And the Philistines envied him. He was like a super king. You see what I'm saying? And the Philistines envied him. Why did they envy him? Instead of them sitting back and thinking, man, this man has the blessing of the Most High upon him. Maybe we need to, to see, get some of that blessing ourselves, But instead, what do? They envy. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why, fast forward to slavery, the Philistines were cutting our heads off, even eating us. They had a horrible, bitter hatred, and this is how it started to get started. You see what I'm saying? Off of this envy right here, because of the reaping of the blessing of Isaac. This is why the Philistines have always been our enemies. You see what I'm saying? For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham, his father, the Philistines had stopped them. What did they do? They took big stones and threw inside the wells to where Isaac, didn't have any wells for water. You see how dirty they was? You see what I'm saying? They hate us behind what they did. You see what I'm saying? And filled them with the earth. They took dirt and piled it all up, took dirt and piled it all inside the wells. To where now you couldn't draw any water. You see what I'm saying? You get a damn bucket full of dirt. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. And Isaac departed thence, and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham. They waited for Abraham to die. And then they hurried up and, filled the damn wells with dirt. You see what I'm saying? Stopping them up. So now they were trying to break them to the point to where they would have to depend on the Philistines for water. You see what I'm saying? This is how dirty they were. This is the two nations. We're not to be merged with any nation. Every nation wants to get power for itself. You see what I'm saying? With them stopping up all the wells and all of that, they try to break Isaac down to the point to where Isaac would be like, he would have to buy water from them so that they would start to get rich. You see what I'm saying? You see the match right there? You see what I'm saying? It's a competition. Everything is fighting for survival of itself. You see what I'm saying? We're not to be equal with anybody. Isaac was separate from the Philistines. He didn't go to be equal with them. You see what I'm saying? He had his own plot of land. He had his own piece of land. He set up his own, had his own servants and all of that. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley and found there a well of spring water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen. Now they beefing now. You see what I'm saying? Now they beefing, saying the water is ours. What are they trying to do? Like I said, they're trying to break him down to the point to where he has to buy water from them. And what would they do? Jack the water way the hell up. You see what I'm saying? Jack the water way up. Black Hispanics and Native Indians, we pay more for water than everybody else. You see what I'm saying? You know, because our water, you know, everything is set different. You see what I'm saying? We pay per capita, we pay more for water, for all the things that we need. We pay more than everybody else. Just like we pay more taxes than everybody else on the face of the planet. You see what I'm saying? That's oppression. What are they trying to do right here? They're trying to oppress Isaac. You see what I'm saying? And he called the name of the well Isaac, because they strove with him. What did they do? They fought with him. They wanted to go to war. And they digged another well and strove for that also. Now they fight also. This is Isaac's plot of land. You see what I'm saying? They want to fight him for his own water in his own land. And they call his water theirs. You see this? They hate us because they oppress us. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence and digged another well. And for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth. And he said, for now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. Now you see this? Now finally, you know, he has some peace now. You see what I'm saying? So obviously, when they strove with Isaac's servants whooped their behinds. You see what I'm saying? Or did something to them to pretty much pump them out to where they knew, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord had put the dread, you know, of Isaac up on the Philistines, and they had to leave Isaac alone. But that hatred is still festering. You see what I'm saying? And who are they trying? They're trying to take it out of. Eventually, they'll try and take it out on his children. You see what I'm saying? His descendants. Now, we can also see the same thing when we go to as a matter of fact, we're going to go into the blessing, you know, of Jacob and Esau both. Matter of fact, we're going to go to Genesis 26, and we'll start at verse 32. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and said unto him, we have found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. Now Isaac he has water. You see what I'm saying? He had to fight for that. He had to strive for that, just to have that water. But he's got it now. You see what I'm saying? And they're digging more wells. So now this stuff, now he's ensuring that not only him, but his children and his children's children and his children's children will be able to drink water. You see what I'm saying? Won't have to serve another nation. This is how we're supposed to be thinking. You see what I'm saying? Now think about it. Now let's think about if Isaac was weak in this, right? And he just went here and just let them, you know, let them have the wells, and he's just sat there and just paying them for water, right? They will be able to set the water at whatever price they wanted to. You see what I'm saying? Because where was Isaac at? He was in the land of the Philistines. You see what I'm saying? So if he wanted to go to another land, then he would have to pay that group for water. You see what I'm saying? If he wanted to go to, any land of the surrounding, he would have to pay them. And eventually what would happen, Isaac's children will become slaves to that nation. That's why Isaac had to fight so hard for the water. You see what I'm saying? He had to fight hard for that. He didn't let them take that from him. You see what I'm saying? He didn't sit there and then, or he didn't sit there and let them buy the water, buy him off. Because see, Isaac was nation-minded. He didn't want his great-great-great-grandchildren have to serve another nation. He wanted to where his children could drink, his children's children after that, his children's children after that, where they would always have plenty of water to drink, right? But then you come up on Isaac's land and you want water, you're going to have to buy it. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to buy it from them. That's how the game is played. Everybody is to play to win. There is no equality. You see what I'm saying? Could you imagine playing basketball or football or whatever, and you wanted you said I'm playing basketball, but you wanted your team and the other team to have an even score when the buzzer goes off for the end of the game. Come on, man. Who thinks like that? You understand playing to win when it comes to sports. You understand playing to win when it comes to your PlayStation 4. You understand that well. You understand in a fist fight, fighting to win. You understand that. But see, when it comes to the situation of your nation and your race, you want to be equal. You see what I'm saying? Something's definitely wrong with that. Something is definitely wrong. You don't even understand these other nations are competitors against you. You see what I'm saying? They're fighting against you. They don't want to be equal with you. No nation really wants to be equal with another nation. They want to rule. You see what I'm saying? Even with Medo-Persian society, with the dual rulership that they had, they were content, they were in agreement that one nation would be stronger. You still had, the Persians were still stronger than the Medes. You see what I'm saying? Greco-Roman society, the Romans became stronger than the Greeks. You see what I'm saying? But they meshed together and just became one eventually because they are the same nation, which is the nation of Esau. You see what I'm saying? They came together. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basshemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. Right? Because the Hittites, even though they were at peace with Abraham, they were afraid of him. You see what I'm saying? The Hittites were afraid. And Abraham, knowing this, even though he was at peace with the Hittites, he told his servant to not get of the daughters of Canaan, period. You see what I'm saying? For his son Isaac. You see what I'm saying? And Jacob was told the same thing. But what does Esau do? Esau's still angry. Now he's angry with Isaac, Rebekah, and Jacob, all three. And the first thing he do is go and get him a Hittite wife of the people that hated his father and his grandfather. You see what I'm saying? And Basshemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. He married 2 Hittite women because, see, why did he want to make this alliance? Because the Hittites were very powerful on the earth during this time. You see what I'm saying? They were very powerful. So he was disregarding, the wishes of his grandfather and his father. He was disregarding that, right? So that he could marry into power. You see what I'm saying? Because Esau trusts in carnal strength. You see what I'm saying? He trusts in that. which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah. You see what I'm saying? He's developing even a hatred for his own parents. Now, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son. Now, Isaac's dimness of eyes, right? With Isaac, his eyes started to go dim, because that was also a spiritual reason too. Because at the time he couldn't see that Jacob was the one that was actually to have the blessing. You see what I'm saying? That also, that spiritual blindness also led to physical blindness. You see what I'm saying? To where his eyes was dim even in the physical. And said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old, and know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapon, thy bow, and take me some venison, and make such a love, bring it to me, that my son, before I die. I told him to go out, and hunt a deer like Esau was so accustomed to do. With him being, right? And Rebekah heard when Isaac and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring. And Rebekah spake unto her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. And she went right to Jacob and was like, I heard the blessing that your father, he's getting ready to bless your brother, right? Because she knew that there was no equality between the boys, right? She knew that Isaac was the one that rightfully should have the blessing. No equality right there. You see what I'm saying? As the scriptures say, a brother is born for adversity. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got one brother that's in the truth, one brother that ain't. One brother is in the scriptures. One brother is in the world. And you know what I'm saying? And everybody's praising this brother because, he got the best weed. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing good money. He's selling good, a lot of dope. But he has some type of, carnal skill where he brings in a lot of money. He's talented. Other brother that's putting up, that's using his leisure time to actually study and get the law, commandments, everybody in the world despises. You see what I'm saying? Everybody despises him and looks at him as somebody that's really not going to be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even righteous men sometimes is touched by this. That's why King David, being as righteous as he was, his favorite son, was Absalom. You see what I'm saying? Even righteous men are fooled a lot of the times and deceived. You see what I'm saying? By one son that they figure should be the heir, right? Because he's so handsome, he's so nice looking, or he's so smart, or he's so this or so that. Even Samuel, when he went to get to get the sons of Jesse, he figured surely, these are choice picks right here. But when they saw King David, it was like, you see what I'm saying? Like, okay. The Lord picks the compassionate to rule. King David was compassionate. King David was, you see what I'm saying? And people look at that as an occupation of, to despise, a man keeping the sheep. But the Lord see way different than what we do. You see what I'm saying? That I may eat and bless thee before the Lord, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 kids of the savory goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it unto thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And it's funny because even the choices in meat that were chosen, right? Even the choices in meat. Now, Isaac actually wanted the venison. You see what I'm saying? He wanted the venison because he told Esau to go out with his bow, you know what I'm saying, and get a deer. Now, a deer is not worthy of sacrifice to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? It's clean to eat, but no deer is sacrificed unto the Lord. You see what I'm saying? But Rebekah chose to get the savory goats. You see what I'm saying? 2 kids that is worthy of a sacrifice to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? That's why she made that choice. You see? And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and it shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse. She was willing to take the curse on because she understood, she loved Jacob, and she understood that Jacob was the one that should rightfully have the birthright and not to split it and make it equal between the 2 children. You see what I'm saying? This was to make them separate, not even. You see what I'm saying? And to make Jacob high above Esau. You see what I'm saying? My son, only obey my voice and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son, Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son, and she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread, in which he prepared unto the hand of her son Jacob. Okay, this down to now what we're going to actually do, we're going to skip down to the blessing. These 2 were meant to be apart. You see what I'm saying? And this is the very beginning of the blood curdling hatred that Esau has for Jacob. This is why the white man hates us so badly. You see what I'm saying? We're going to go, as a matter of fact, we're going to go to, okay, here we go. We're going to go to verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting, right? And he also made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise, and eat of his venison, of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless thee. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that had taken venison, and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. Now think about it. Now if there's supposed to be equality, right? Then Isaac thought to bless Esau, right? But he was giving Esau the greater blessing. If there's supposed to be equality, why couldn't he give both of them the same blessing? Because there's not supposed to be equality. You see what I'm saying? Isaac understood that. So did Rebekah. You see what I'm saying? So does every other nation on the face of the planet. Whenever they talk this equality bull crap to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's only a slave agreement that they're making with you. They're making an agreement for you to be their slave. You've been here 400 years up under them and ain't never received no equality yet. But Sam, somehow you thought you was going to get it with Barack Obama, huh? You thought that the white man was just going to, that Barack Obama was going to go up against the white man and give you equality. Come on, man. He talked equality garbage to you too. But then he bailed out major white corporations and did nothing for you. You see what I'm saying? He let you die. Barack Obama let you die. He let you die. He let the police kill you. No police was ever charged with murder or ever went to prison for murder or any of that. Why up under Barack Obama, up under 8 years of Barack Obama? You see what I'm saying? First thing he did, he just said a couple of speeches. Said a couple of them, circle talking speeches that he did. You see what I'm saying? And then left the issue alone. That's what he did for you. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man and woman. He had no thoughts of making you equal with them. He had thoughts of making them even higher over you. That's what where his thoughts was at. If he even thought about making you equal, really bringing you equality, they would have impeached him. Think about it. He wasn't one holding the damn power. You see what I'm saying? And he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father rise and eat of his son's venison. Okay, let me skip down. Let me skip down. Pick up at verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not received a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. Made him equal, right? No. Made him thy Lord. Nothing wants to be equal. You see what I'm saying? One thing is going to, 2 rivals will never be equal. The black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you're not going to be equal with the white man. Either you're going to be above him or you're going to be underneath him. That's it. Those are your only options. You see what I'm saying? Now, you want to, as a matter of fact, I'm going to give you an example of how mean they are to you and how badly they want to keep you so crushed and ground into powder. They don't even want to. Now, think about it. Now, go to like Chicago. Look at the north side of Chicago. Look at all the wealth, all the splendor, all the glory. I mean, the place, it almost intoxicates you how wealthy this place. You go to downtown Chicago, you're almost intoxicated, you know what I'm saying, just off the awe. You see what I'm saying? The awe, the wealth, and the power, and all of that. But then you go to where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians live at, and it's like, you You are crushed down that low so that they can be that high. You see what I'm saying? Now, how does that sound for equality? How in the hell is that equality right there? It's nowhere near it. It's nowhere near equality. You see what I'm saying? You see how much more wealth that they have? That's an outward sign of how much more wealthy they are than you. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, now it's not all of them buildings are owned by white people, but not only do they want to crush you badly like that, they open up the floodgates for everybody or every other race to come and eat off of you too. That's some severe hatred right there. They send them to come and even gobble your crumbs. You see what I'm saying? And this is the people that you want to love. People that you want to live with. The people that you want to join to in marriage. These are the people that you really want to be with right here. You should never want to be with these people. You got to separate from them. You see what I'm saying? Not only that, you're so quick to go downtown and spend your money that you make on your little job, or that you sitting there working at McDonald's, you going downtown to shop. You see what I'm saying? Now what we're going to do, we're going to go to 2 Kings. This is a prime example of us being, of this seesaw thing. You see what I'm saying? One side has to be up, one has to be down. When we're up, they're down. When they're down, we're up. Let's give an example of this. We're going to go to 2 Kings. In 2 Kings chapter 8. Oh, Salaki. No, I think we're at 1 King. Yeah, we're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 11. And we'll start at the first verse. Right? Now, of course, during the time of King Solomon, we were over everybody. All these other nations came to King Solomon, right? They came to King Solomon for wealth. They came for wisdom, right? And what did they do? They brought great trains with them. You see what I'm saying? Great trains of goods. They're trying to find out how to fix the problems in their own countries. You see what I'm saying? And they see that we don't have certain problems like what they have. You see what I'm saying? They have all of these different problems and all of these different, all of this different stuff, and they need, answers, on how to fix these problems. So what do? And even though they hated us also, they hate our nation. But when when they try and go to other kings, the other kings didn't have any answers for them. You see what I'm saying? The other kings didn't have answers, that would, the answers to their problems. So they had no choice but to come to a Negro king, which they hated to do, but they had no damn choice but to do it. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm going to go into some of the things that they brought. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to go into some of the things that these other nations, their gifts that they brought to King Solomon. I'm going to go to 10 and verse 11. And the navy also of Hiram that brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir great plenty of almond trees and precious stones. And the king made the almond trees pillars for the house of the Lord, and for the king's house harps also, and psalteries for singers. There came no such almond trees, nor were seen unto this day. Now, Hiram was actually a king of Zidon, right? And inside Zidon, Tyre and Zidon and all that, you had they were real. The Zidonians were real good with hewing, wood, cutting wood. You see what I'm saying? And had some of the greatest trees. So what would he do when he had a question? Because they came to need King Solomon. So they would bring great trains of things, even though they hated it. They didn't want to do it. They hated him. They wanted to see him come down, of course. You see what I'm saying? When we come down, the whole world laughs and claps their hands because of the envy that they have for us. You see what I'm saying? And King Solomon gave unto the queen of Sheba all her desire whatsoever she asked, beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty. So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 606 talents of gold. So now if he's getting all of this gold, that means whoever he's getting it from is having less gold. You see what I'm saying? 600 talents of gold is an immense amount of wealth. You see what I'm saying? 600 people use that. Now gold is more precious than silver. You see what I'm saying? You can buy a city with a couple of talents of silver. You can buy a city for that. So just imagine how much 600 is this 606 talents of gold. You can imagine how much that is. So if he's getting all of this gold, he's getting all of these riches, somebody else is made a little poorer. You see what I'm saying? Besides that, he had the merchantmen and of the traffic of the spice merchants and of all the kings of Arabia and of the governors of the country. So with the Arabians coming up and asking King Solomon certain questions on how to help their kingdom. You see what I'm saying? They got to come with all of this stuff. You see what I'm saying? So now they're being made a little poorer, while King Solomon is being made a little richer. You see what I'm saying? And taking that wealth and distributing it among the kingdom to where even the lower of us start to be greater than some of the great of them. You see what I'm saying? This is how the stuff works. This is how your black leaders should operate. You see what I'm saying? Your black leaders should have so much wisdom, you know what I'm saying? If they were really on your side, really on the Lord's side, they would have wisdom to the point to where the white man would have to come to them for answers. You see what I'm saying? The white man in this state even come to us for answers now. They come to us to ask, for certain inventions and stuff like that. They want us to invent stuff for them. You see what I'm saying? Or they'll have an invention and ask us how to make it better. And what do? We be good old coons, and we we show them how to make his product or whatever it is better, right? And then what do they do with us? They fire us. You see what I'm saying? They fire us. The Arabs that have the Arab chicken joints that actually have like good chicken, their chicken is crap at first. And they're sitting there wondering, now, like say for instance in Louisville, the Arabs have better chicken. You know what I'm saying? Because Louisville is also a place where a lot of people come from, other places to go to. So now the white man wants that, not the white man, but the Arab man wants that white business. You see what I'm saying? He wants them coming to his chicken joint, to make more money for them. So he competes for the business of the white man. He's not making chicken better for the sake of black people. You see what I'm saying? Because in places like this right here, all the Arab chicken sucks. You see what I'm saying? Because that kind of traffic is not really coming through like that. You see what I'm saying? So his chicken sucks. He got majority of just blacks coming to get the chicken. So what they do is they'll learn from a black man on how to fry the chicken better. Next thing you know, that same restaurant, the same Arab restaurant, the same chain, not restaurant but gas station, was awarded for having the best chicken in Louisville a few years ago. You see what I'm saying? Now that advertisement, it started making them rich because this is known among all of these people that don't even live in Louisville, that are from other places. And when they come back the next year, when they come for Derby and all of that, you know what I'm saying? They're going to want to go there to get them some chicken. They're going to want to order some chicken from them. You see what I'm saying? Making them rich. We shouldn't give our secrets to anybody. If we can't give our secrets to our own people, we should make our inventions and stuff like that, we should want to die with the stuff. You know what I'm saying? If we can't give it to our own people. You see what I'm saying? But what will we do? We don't demand any damn thing. King Solomon, he demanded stuff. You ain't gonna come to him like that. But see, we're gonna be a nation of kings and priests, right? And then you even have fake Israelite groups that are teaching that we're going to be a nation of kings and priests, but they're not operating like neither one. A king and a priest is going to operate this way, not the way you operate. Let me get some more. And King Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold, 600 shekels of gold went into one target. He didn't give this wisdom for free. He did not give this wisdom for free. You see what I'm saying? And when he gave them the wisdom, he gave them a little nugget for them to, you know what I'm saying? He gave them a little nugget that they would have to sit there and take a counsel and try and figure it out. You see what I'm saying? They would have to take a counsel and feel like he might give them some type of trap. Like say for instance, this is also another practice that went on the earth. Right? One king would give another king of another land, right? He would give him some type of trap question, right? And if that king could not figure out the answer or solve that question, he owed that king, you see what I'm saying, that sent him the question, right? And he had to pay. You see what I'm saying? If he couldn't solve the riddle or the question. King Solomon he was the wisest man on the face of the planet. So now you got one king who can't solve the answer, right? Who does he go to get the answer solved? He goes to the wisest king on the earth because of the trap question that this king asked him, right? So what does he do? He pays King Solomon. You see what I'm saying? It's like say if he was funded, if he was taxed, or hit with the tax on if he couldn't answer the question. He would owe 100 talents of gold, right? He might break off, King Solomon off 40 talents to give him the answer, right? So what he does is, now he has to answer to send back to that king. That king gives him the 100 talents, and he profits 60 talents of gold. You see what I'm saying? King Solomon profited 40% off of that, because that was a practice that was on the earth, sending questions to one another. Kings did this. You see what I'm saying? And then now think about it. Now, if that king did not deal with King Solomon, right? If he didn't deal with King Solomon and he couldn't answer the question, then he had to pay, you see what I'm saying, 100 talents of gold. You see what I'm saying? And once you do that, the man that just received the gold can send him another question. You see what I'm saying? And if he doesn't answer that, then, you see what I'm saying? Now, if he don't answer that question, then he's taxed again. Now, you see what I'm saying? Now, if he sends a question to that king, and that king can't answer the question, now he got to pay. Now, one is getting wealthy and powerful, while that king who is lacking in wisdom, you know what I'm saying, and a dexterity of thought and everything to answer that question, he is becoming poor. And he becomes a servant unto the king that sent him those trap questions. Either that, or he has to go to war. You see what I'm saying? He has to go to war. Now, if that king was formerly made so much richer, he could pay another king to go and attack him. He can use what the 200 talents that he got from him, pay another king 50 talents to go and attack him. He keeps 150, and he just bought an army with the 50 talents to go and attack and make his forces weaker. You see what I'm saying? So now, them two are at odds. He is winning. You see what I'm saying? That is a game. That is actually a global game that they play. You see what I'm saying? These games like, these games that we be playing and all of that, this stuff has real root to it. You see what I'm saying? And these things were played on a global level, but were they playing to be equal with each other? Hell no, they wasn't. Hell no, they wasn't playing to be equal. They were playing to dominate. You see what I'm saying? Every nation wants to rule, except for our nation. But you know what, though? The ISUPK does want rulership on the earth. We do want that. You see what I'm saying? And just like the scripture said, wisdom shall be the stability of thy time. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why kings, if the king couldn't solve the question, the trap question and everything, he would have a council. You see what I'm saying? And they would all, go over that question. And he would have asked his wise men. You see what I'm saying? And the wise man that could figure that out, he was made rich and brought to honor. You see what I'm saying? This was a global game that they played. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times they played this game in peacetime. You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to go too far into that. That's for another topic right there. But as I was saying, though, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to First Kings and chapter 11. But King Solomon loved many strange women. The very beginning of the downfall. You see what I'm saying? Together with the daughter of Pharaoh. Right? That's one of the reasons why they were sitting there throwing King Solomon their women. You see what I'm saying? Now, Pharaoh, on the other hand, the Egyptians were like a second power. You know what I'm saying? during the time of King Solomon. That's one of the reasons why Pharaoh's daughter was his first wife, because King Solomon also wanted to make peace between the king of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? They wanted, let bygones be bygones, you know what I'm saying? And make peace with them, right? But of course, Pharaoh, on the other hand, was subtle, just like the other kings of the earth. They were afraid and they feared King Solomon. You see what I'm saying? Now, so what happened was, he said, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites. He married Moabites, kings' daughters and all of that, right? Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave to them in love. You see what I'm saying? So they couldn't get King Solomon any other kind of way. So what would they do? They would get him with their women. You know what I'm saying? And with this, and when King Solomon, now think about this for a second. Now, with King Solomon sitting there marrying these strange women, right? Of course, he has to pay a dowry for these women, right? So, with him paying, a dowry to their fathers, their people, what ends up happening with Pharaoh? Pharaoh becomes richer. You see what I'm saying? The Moabites become richer. The Ammonites become richer. The Edomites become richer. Zidonians become richer. And the Hittites become richer. If he hadn't took the women, right, they would still been subservient up under King Solomon, even though they technically were at this time, because we wasn't feeling the crunch yet. You see what I'm saying? For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after their gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, and was as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth. Look at this. Ashtoreth to this day is one of the chief. Now, when a man bows down to a woman, that's what brothers is worshiping. You see what I'm saying? And Judah and Levi, we led in this transgression right here, and that's how it really got leavened all throughout all the tribes. You know what I'm saying? Behind us. So, for Solomon went after Ashtoreth. The first god is said that he went after was the chief deity of the female gods, the chief goddess of feminism. You see what I'm saying? Woman and womb worship and all that. You see what I'm saying? What do brothers do today? Worshiping the woman. All over Facebook, my queen, my goddess. All of that. King Solomon fell into that. The goddess of the Zidonians. And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. And then Solomon built an high place for Shemash, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem. Now look at this. Now you know that palace for Shemash that he built was glorious. So now what's starting to happen? The other nations are starting to become enriched. They're starting to rise up. You see what I'm saying? Edom at this time being the lowest of them, at the bottom of all of them, right? Even King Solomon went into marrying the Edomite king's daughters and all of that. You see what I'm saying? These were noble women, but Edom was still the lowest basis of all the nations at this time. Because you know why? Because we were the highest. As high up as we go, the lower down Esau goes. When we on top, Esau goes to the bottom of everybody. You see what I'm saying? This is what we should want. If not for yourself, want it for your children. You see what I'm saying? How could you want your children to go another 40 years up under this vile beast called the white man? How could you want that and claim to love your kids? How is that? And the first thing that come out of your mouth, what about black on black crime? That's a domestic issue. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. That is a black on black crime and all of that. That's a domestic issue. You see what I'm saying? A nation born within itself ain't got a damn thing to do with no damn body else. You see what I'm saying? And for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. Now notice, Molech was also a god of child sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? Now think about it. What is the Japanese and all of them know? All of them Asians is known for eating babies and all that. And I said that King Solomon didn't go that far into it. But what he did was serve them through the wives, because when he marry a wife, you're going to build a house for him. You see what I'm saying? If he has 5 wives of the nation of the Ammonites, they're going to be rich and they're going to enrich their people. Every woman every heathen woman that gets with a Hebrew man is only thinking about her people. You see what I'm saying? While the Hebrew woman get into it she get a marriage with a heathen man, she's thinking about that heathen man's people. You see what I'm saying? They all play to win. The black man married a damn Chinese woman. That Chinese woman is looking to make his people reduce and hers get great. You see what I'm saying? That's what she's in it for. We be thinking, the Asian women love black men. But that's not love. She is playing to win for her people. That's why in the story of Samson, when he was in the bed chamber, the men were in the damn bed chamber, waiting to ambush him. Delilah was playing on the side of her people. You see what I'm saying? So that her people could be greater than ours. But you know what though? Those same ones will tell you that they love everybody, that they're not racist and all that. The white woman that's with a black man swiping down, she ain't racist just because she taking rod from a black man, and she's the worst kind of racist. The less kind of racist of a white woman would not sleep with a black man. You see what I'm saying? That Klan white woman is less racist than the damn white woman that will sleep with a black man. She's less racist, because let me let you in on a little secret. Let me let you in on something. All right? When you at the bottom of every damn body, right? And you having sex with another nation that is ruling over you, that nation is eating you. You see what I'm saying? That nation is eating you. They're in it because they're white men the only reason why white men like black women is because they hate black men so much. You see what I'm saying? They hate black men so much that they want to feel like they're taking something from black men. The same thing with the white woman. The white woman only likes black men because she believes that she's fighting for her people, right? She wants to take whatever resources or just totally destroy this brother, or whatever strength that he has. You see what I'm saying? But also, she'll be the quickest one to talk about how these black bitches don't like her because she's taking all they men. You see what I'm saying? She hates you that much. You see what I'm saying? While she got the black girl haircut and all of that and gold teeth in her damn mouth, you know what I'm saying? She hates the hell out of you. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, and burned incense and sacrifices to their gods. And the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. Now let's see what the Lord ended up doing because of this. Like I said, right? Now, when we go into sin, Esau starts to rise up. You see what I'm saying? Now watch what happened. Edom being the basis of the nations, right? We're going to notice something start to happen. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon. Let's see, who is this adversary that he stirred up, right? Hadad, the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. For it came to pass, when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom. Now think about this for a second. Hadad was just a child at this time. And during the time of King David, you know what I'm saying? King David wasn't marrying, a whole bunch of strange wives and all of that stuff. We were at the top, and the Edomites so feared us so damn much, you know what I'm saying? And we was able to have power over them to where we were slaughtering them. Joab, the captain of the host, spent 6 months up in Edom, turned the Edomites up until he cut off every male that he could. You see what I'm saying? After he had smitten every male in Edom, for 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel until he had cut off every male in Edom. He went to tear their behinds up. You see what I'm saying? That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him, to go into Egypt. Now, what did he do? He ran to hide out into Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Hadad, being a little child, he was a little child at that time, right? The servants took him, you know what I'm saying? And because we started destroying, when we started killing every Edomite that we saw. You know what I'm saying? Hunting them up out of the rocks. You know what I'm saying? Hunting them out of the caves. Thrusting them through. 6 months long. Campaigning. And they arose out of Midian and came to Paran. And they took men with them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt, unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, which gave him an house, and appointed him victuals, and gave him land. Now look at this. Now, King Solomon made a league with Pharaoh, with the king of Egypt, right? Married his daughter. Everything on the surface seemed like it was supposed to be good, right? But Pharaoh hated King Solomon. That's why he embraced Hadad the Edomite in. You see what I'm saying? What is he doing? Making an alliance. You see what I'm saying? Now check this out. And Hadad found great favor in the sight of Pharaoh. He was a king's seed, right? And Pharaoh knew that he was an enemy, a serious enemy against King Solomon. So that he gave him to wife the sister of his own wife, the sister Taphanes, the queen. And the sister of Taphanes bare him Genubath, his son, whom Taphanes weaned in Pharaoh's house. And Genubath was in Pharaoh's house among the sons of Pharaoh. Now this is where your white Egyptians come into play at. You know what I'm saying? This is how Egypt first started to become how you start to have white people inside Egypt. He was an Edomite. The Hadad the Edomite married an Egyptian, dark Egyptian woman. You see what I'm saying? And this Edomite Genubath, which was his son, was raised up in the house of Pharaoh, right? Now, watch what Hadad did. And when Hadad heard in Egypt that David slept with his fathers, and that Joab, the captain of the host, was dead because he was hiding. You know what I'm saying? He was hiding. He found out the captain of the host was dead, right? That King David and Joab was dead, right? Hadad said unto Pharaoh, he was hiding away so neatly that he didn't even know the news that they were already dead. He didn't even know it. He was so afraid, him and his servants, because we had found them, it would have been hell to pay. King Solomon would have had them wiped out. Right? Let me depart that I may go to my own country. Now see how high up we are and how low down they are. So I don't understand how you think that you're going to be able to sit in your fake Israelite congregation with them in there and you and them be equal together. That ain't scriptural. You see what I'm saying? Even in the New Testament said the fall of them should be the riches of the Gentiles. Of them, in that case, meaning us. The fall of us, meaning the riches of the Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? And that's the New Testament. You see what I'm saying? Then Pharaoh said unto him, but what hast thou lacked with me, that behold, thou seekest to go in thy own country? And he answered, nothing. Howbeit, let me go in anywise. And God stirred him up an adversary, Rezin, the son of Eliadah, which fled from his lord Hadazer, king of Zobah. Now they're dealing with some Aram. They rising up an Arabian enemy. You see what I'm saying? And he gathered men unto him and became captain over a band. When David slew them of Zobah, and they went to Damascus and dwelt therein and reigned in Damascus. And he was an adversary to Israel all the days of Solomon, beside the mischief that Hadad did. And he abhorred Israel and reigned over Syria. Now, you see this? And Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, the Ephrathite, now even the 10 tribes got into the deal also. You see what I'm saying? And this is when it started to split. Judah, we are specifically the most envied. You see what I'm saying? When we are down, everybody else rises up. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else. So whose mother's name was Zeruiah, a widow woman. Even he lifted up his hand against the king. Man, look at this. We catch it on all sides. You see what I'm saying? But that's how this thing goes. We cannot be up without them being down, and they cannot be down without us being up. You see what I'm saying? That's the way this thing goes. Either you're going to fight, you're going to be for your nation, or you're going to be for the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, all these the fake Israelite groups and all of that, all of these dudes are lukewarm. You see what I'm saying? Because if they were hot, they would be here. You see what I'm saying? We are the ISUPK, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Pay your tithes. Support the men of this truth. And take your wisdom and use your wisdom among your people and quit offering everything to the damn Gentiles. Stop getting with their women, right? Stop marrying their women. Stop, making covenants and leagues with them and making excuses for them and trying to get them into the kingdom. The Lord does not require that of us. You see what I'm saying? Do like what you do in sports and play to win. We are the ISUPK coming out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahan. And that concludes this class. And with that being said, shalom.